On this month's Perfect Fifth, we test our improv skills again, and we also play a game of Would You Rather.
But first, our review of Oliver Tree, Taylor Swift, and Mo Turk, all coming up on the Segway Podcast. Hey, welcome to the Segway.
The best thing to happen to you on a Thursday.
That's right, recording live, social distantly.
Yes, social, because Ohio is spiking, and we just, sometimes it's just better to socially distance. Like, I can still see you, it's fine.
Yeah, I can see you, you're there, I'm here, it's all good.
Yeah, so you want to hear a story?
I would love to hear a story.
Alright, so I was putting wood filler in my cabinets to fill up some holes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was using a razor blade to, clear, like how you would, what's it called? Drywall?
Is this going to be like the watermelon story, but this time with cupboards?
It's worse, I think.
Oh, okay.
So I was making it smooth, and for some reason my finger got in the way, and I sliced. Can you see?
I see a Band-Aid.
Yeah, it's 3 of them because I sliced it so bad. It was bleeding everywhere. It was bleeding for hours.
Did you cry?
No, I gave this super sharp inhale. I was like, whoo!
Okay. Charlie, I finally saw it. I saw the comet.
That's awesome. I'm actually really glad for you, man.
So, no, there's no first week food this week. You are as surprised as we are that we're talking about music instead, and we're not going to get into that now. We'll get into that later. So, I'm redeeming Observatory Park. I already gave it wild, praise, but I went back. I went back twice in 1 week because I looked at my phone and it said it was going to be 100% clear. Like, they have big clouds, they have little clouds, and they have even littler clouds, and then they also have just the moon and stars, and that's when it's supposed to be its absolute clearest according to the Weather Channel app. And so I said, Claire, we are going to go back to Observatory Park. And not only did I see the comet with binoculars, it's a little fuzzy still, but for 100% fact that this is the comet. So I'm looking at the comet, and Claire all of a sudden turns around, and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, well, we already saw the comet, and the way that the moonlight was hitting that side of the sky, you couldn't really see that many stars. So I was like, you know what? That's a really good point. So I flipped my chair around too. It's kind of like I felt like I just had this huge sigh of relief. It's like I finally saw it. It was like a full week of trying to see this comet, and I think I may have seen it in Peninsula, but now I know for a fact I did. So it's just kind of like I could just enjoy being there under the stars now. There was like no more deadline, I gotta see it before it goes away. It's like I can just look at it now. But now I can relax, and we see a couple shooting stars. Actually, one of the biggest shooting stars I've seen in a long time, like when you can actually see it like fizzle in the atmosphere. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, she's like, well, what's next on your bucket list? And I was like, I want to see the Milky Way. And then I'm like, where's it supposed to be? And I pull out this app that shows me where it's supposed to be, and I look in the sky, and we're like, we see it. Like, it was like this very light cloudiness in a very thin strip that went across the sky, and that's exactly where it was supposed to be. I really, in my life, never thought I would see the Milky Way.
That's very cool. Why didn't you tell me you're going again?
It was very last minute. Like,
okay.
Literally, I checked my phone, and I saw it, and I was like, we have to go.
You gotta do the Mean Girls to me. Like, get in, bitch. We're gonna see the Milky Way. So this episode is dropping on July 30th. July 30th is still in July.
It is.
And that makes it the perfect fifth.
Yes, not first week food.
Like, we thought it was. We went to the restaurant, we got our burger. So we had that lined up for next week. But our perfect fifth is actually, so Taylor Swift just dropped
24th at midnight, and it was so sudden.
Yeah, like no one saw it coming, right?
I don't think so. Well, you know what? Instagram influencers must have, because, well, we'll get it. Remind me on how people might have known it was coming.
Okay, we'll get into it. But I am reviewing another, I think, way less known person, not to be all hipster about it. This dude had a smash hit on the radio like last year, and it's a single on this album that came out like a week ago. His name is Oliver Tree. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, actually, somebody who follows us on Instagram just did a dance to it, and somebody in the comment section was like, who's that by? And she's like, Oliver Tree.
Well, I'm reviewing his new album, Ugly is Beautiful.
Let's hear it.
he has a pattern of songwriting, which I think is very much him. It's very catchy. There's a lot of repeating to it, and it's in almost every song he does. Now, I don't think necessarily that's bad. I think it's unique. It can be tiresome. The whole album is 17 songs long. If you enjoy one of his songs, you will probably enjoy the rest of them. I think I describe him as like... Do you ever hear Hobo Johnson?
It sounds familiar, but I can't think of a song or a tune.
He's a very strange kind of rapper from Sacramento. He's kind of got that same kind of vibe. It's like weird rap.
So what music are we talking about? Is it rap?
No, it's not really rap. It's like he's got like this punk voice. It sounds super punk, but it's not super punk music. It's almost like EDM mixed with punk.
Okay. Punk.
Pump
it up.
He's got like a vocal fry that very much is his own kind of thing too. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Like stylistically?
Yeah, very stylistically his voice I think is actually very appealing. I like his voice a lot. I could see how a person wouldn't like his voice, but I really like it.
Does he sing? Does he
Yes,
rap?
he sings.
He doesn't rap, sing, talk, scream, auto-tune.
I don't think he auto-tunes. He sings mostly. He does do some talking vocals as well. Most of his songs are like kind of in between talking and singing. I don't know if he does all the music himself. I think he might, because a lot of it's contrived on like a computer. Contrived, is that the right word? Conceived?
Yes. Sounds like having sex, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's birthed on the computer.
It's very much computer based.
It's an MP3. And he's like, damn, I wanted a wave.
No one wants a wave.
No, you're right.
But it's unique is the best way to put it. It's unique.
Do you have a favorite track? Or if somebody wanted to listen to this album and you had to give them one song that they should check out?
So the single that was out last year is Hurt.
Okay.
It's called Hurt, Hurt. That's like his biggest song. I would maybe go with the song Jerk, 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 instead of Hurt, because it's not as well known.
Is it all just one syllable words?
No, it's just those two. I think most of them are just one word or one kind of idea.
What if the whole track list just made a sentence and it's just... I don't know what it would be.
17 words. That's a big... But those two songs I would recommend. I know you said one, but I would... One of those.
Got you.
Yeah, I think that's basically my review. It's I like it. It's unique. If you don't feel the first song in it, I would just pass.
Throw it out. Throw it out the window.
Well, if you don't like the one, you're not gonna like the rest.
Nobody buys CDs anymore. They just download the songs they want to hear.
Well, then they're gonna listen to Hurt a lot because it's pretty good.
There you go. All right, so you guys already know this, but we're gonna talk about it. Taylor Swift dropped her 8th studio album, Folklore, midnight, July 24th.
What? Well, okay, midnight East or midnight Pacific?
Must have been East because I watched it at midnight.
Okay.
I was actually awake for this. I didn't... Same thing as that Day to Remember song, Mind Reader. I didn't stay up for it. I just happened to be awake, and I was on social media, and they were like, 10 minutes till. I was like, well, I'm already awake.
Is the last time we did a Perfect Fist the last time she dropped something?
That was the last time we reviewed music. We had interviews for Perfect Fifth, but the last time we reviewed music was also Taylor Swift, which is funny.
That's crazy. It's almost like she's a...
It's like 11 months. Or
does
10
she
or...
know the Segway schedule?
She must. So,
I bet she does.
For anybody that listened to it, it is a major departure from her contemporary pop music, especially Lover and Reputation. So this kind of lends itself more to indie folk, alternative, and some people have even been calling it like electro folk. It's basically lo-fi, which I love. It's gotten a lot of critical acclaim, and a lot of people are kind of saying kind of two things meaning the same thing, but in roundabout ways. Some people are saying she's taking a new approach with more self-awareness, which is really good for her songwriting, and a lot of other people are saying that she's going back to her roots. So either way, they're spinning it in a positive.
What I've heard, it reminds me a lot of her older stuff when she was younger. So I could really see the going back to the roots thing.
So Cardigan. That was the song that was dropped at midnight. The whole album was released, but like the music video was Cardigan. And
Is she getting a divorce?
No.
That was a joke.
Okay. No, actually, but since you bring that up, this is one of the first times that she's making music that involves like stories involving fictionalized characters that have nothing to do with her. Like, this isn't the first time she's done that, but we're going to get into this. There's a love triangle in this album, and 3 different songs in the album take on a different perspective from each person in the love triangle, which I think is actually really awesome writing, very awesome storytelling, but we'll get to that. So, do you remember when you saw Frozen for the first time, the movie?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Did you have a feeling when you heard Let It Go that it was going to get big, like that song specifically?
I feel like I saw Frozen after it was already on the radio, so I was like, oh, so this is the thing.
Gotcha. Okay. We went very shortly after it came out, and I just remember both from like the cinematography of the animation plus the song, I just remember being like, this is it. Like, this is it. Maybe it won't. I didn't know. I didn't think it was going to get as big as it was going to get. I don't think anybody could have. But I knew it was going to be the song for every show movie has, every Disney show has that song that you relate to it. And I knew this was going to be that one. And I remember watching Taylor's video, Cardigan, when it came out that at midnight. And I was like, yep, this is, yeah. At first I was a little bit like, oh, this is kind of slow. Like, is it going to pick up? But it's a song that grows on you. And that line, when you are young, they assume you know nothing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's taking off. Absolutely taking off. So you asked if people knew about it. And I imagine influencers did, because the very next day, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat influencers were wearing a cardigan of hers.
Oh, really?
From the music video that you could go buy for one small price of $59.99. Claire has one, or she's getting one.
For $60?
Oh, yeah.
God
damn. It might be 50, but with tax, you know how it goes. But they must have known it was going to come out, and because they had the cardigans to take pictures of the next day. It's good marketing, I guess.
That's great marketing.
So here are the songs that I prefer and are my favorite. I'm not saying these are the only good ones. I actually think the majority of the songs are good. A lot of people like Exile, which has Bon Iver on it. Am I saying that right? Bon Iver?
I believe you are. That's what Steph said. I
actually don't love this song.
No, he sounds to me like a basso profundo from Russian culture. That's super low bass. Like,
it doesn't land well for me. But I know I'm in the minority and a lot of people love it. So there's probably a good chance you will love it. But if there's 5 songs that I would recommend. I love Cardigan. I love 7, which is actually track number 7. I like August, which is track number 8, ironically. I like Epiphany, and I like Betty. Those are the 5 songs that I strongly recommend.
Does Betty in parentheses say Lily Reinhart?
It does say Taylor Swift finally drops the F-bomb, though. So she does. This is the first album that she actually drops the F-bomb. Good for her. So, let's get to that love triangle I was talking about. So, there's 3 characters. There's Betty, there's James, and there's Inez. And I'm not going to tell you in the order of the story. I'm going to tell you the order of the track listing, okay? So, the second track on the album is Cardigan. It's the one that went out first. It's the first solo. It's the one with the music video, okay? That song is from Betty's perspective. Betty was with James, and they were together. They were really close. But then James has a summer fling with a girl named Inez. So some of the call lines in Cardigan are like I said, when you are young, they assume you know nothing. I knew you'd come back. So in Cardigan, you find out, I knew that James would come back. He messed up, but I know you're going to come back. And they also talk about, obviously, Cardigan and High Heels on Cobblestone. So then the next song that relates to this love triangle is track number 8, which is Inez's perspective. And it's August, which is what is August? It's a summer month, and it talks about the summer fling that she has with James. And she keeps saying, August slipped away like a bottle of wine because you were never mine. So she's pretty much saying this is a fling. We're not meant to be together. This is just a short time period. I wish it was longer, but it's not. And then track number, I believe it's 14, is Betty, which is James's perspective. And he's saying, I didn't know anything, which is a callback to Cardigan when she says, when you're young, they assume you know nothing. So he's saying, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm young. I'm stupid. The worst thing I ever did was what I did to you, which he's talking about his summer fling with Inez. And then he goes back to Betty which brings it back to Cardigan when she says, I knew you'd come back to me. Isn't that kind of amazing storytelling within an album?
That is probably some of the better storytelling I've heard from a musician.
And because it's interesting, because a lot of people thought that there might be bisexual undertones to Betty because they thought Taylor was talking about this girl, Betty. But really, once you find out the story, you realize it's that character's perspective, which goes back to her branching away from only writing songs that are about her. She's actually doing full stories now. I love the tone too. I love the aesthetics, like the folklore, the image of her in the woods. It's kind of that gray scale. Just because I kind of like that mellow music from time. I mean, I like music that bumps too. Don't get me wrong, but I do like that mellow music as well. And I think she really hits it here. I think there's maturity in the songwriting. I definitely think it's one of her better albums for sure. So I would strongly recommend, even if you're not a major Taylor Swift fan, if you don't like Red, if you don't like 1989, Reputation, I still strongly recommend that you at least give Folklore a listen.
To me, it feels like I listened to most of it. I'm not a huge fan of it, personally. It's just me. I feel like it's like that song she did with the Civil Wars for the Hunger Games.
Yes.
It gets
related to that.
So I don't think it's executed as well, personally. But that's just me.
Yeah. How many times have you listened to it, though? Because I think it's been on repeat in my car for like 4 days. I think the more you listen to it, the better it gets.
I've only listened to it one time, so
okay.
that is a valid point.
You should at least listen to Cardigan, August, and Betty, just because I think knowing the backstory, I think it gives new perspective, and it's really cool.
I love how excited you are about this.
I honestly, I was like, oh, another Taylor Swift album, cool, but I'm really into it. So I got two more little things.
Okay, sure.
Here's a song that I have been absolutely obsessed with. It's not like brand new, but it's new to 2020. I am absolutely obsessed with The Weeknd's Blinding Lights.
I love that song. Are you kidding me? I love that song.
It is so tight. I appreciate so hardcore when a song does not waste a single second. From every verse to it's an electronic riff, but I'm still going to call it a riff. From the riff to the verses to the pre-chorus to the chorus, even the bridge, everything doesn't miss a beat. His pictures, it's catchy. It's just so good in a different weird way. It reminds me of Chamber the Cartridge by Rise Against. Not anything in terms of songwriting or style, but just where every single second of the song isn't filler. To me, the whole, I don't skip a part. I don't look forward to a part more than the next. It's all good.
I heard a version of that, but do you remember Jimmy Neutron?
The cartoon?
Yeah.
Animated? Yeah.
The Carl from Jimmy Neutron was doing that song, and it was the funniest thing. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh. I've been looking up acoustic versions because I started learning it on guitar. It's just so good. Yeah. So I recommend that. You guys already know that song. You guys already know Taylor Swift too. It doesn't matter. But I want to say this because he was just on our podcast and he told you guys that he was going to drop it on his birthday, which happy birthday again, Mo Turk. Notorious came out and
I just heard it for the first time today. It is live. It is awesome.
There's just something, now music is entertainment to a certain degree, and there's nothing wrong with a song that is just meant for enjoyment and dancing or whatever, but there's just that extra little bit of love that you have for a song that actually says something, and with the times that we're in right now, with social justice and police brutality, Notorious just really kind of speaks to what's going on, and it kind of reflects really well with his interview, where it's kind of like self-realization in terms of what's actually important in life and wanting to ignore these terrible situations in the world, but we're now in a situation where you can't. And there's one line he has in the second verse that I want to say, but I gotta comply, hands up to survive, even with hands up I still might die.
Yeah, I can empathize to an extent.
Yes.
That kind of fear.
That's the type of line I imagine somebody getting tattooed on their chest or something, or like that's a line that sticks out that is so raw but so true in like the most tragic way. So we got 100% permission from Mo Turk. We're actually going to play the entire track Notorious right now.
So when I speak, you better fucking listen. It's only coming from the heart. I don't even know where to start. I used used to wanna be just like all these other rappers. Gold chains, diamond rings, throwing money to dancers. But that's a cancer, cause money won't make you handsome, but they say it will. Used to want the girls all in my lap. Blow a couple racks, then make it all right back. Big stats, fitted hat, what's wrong with that? I used to think about it all the time, home alone. Reading magazines, fill my mind with dreams and hope I'd only be about. Ass shaking, the earthquake, and see my phrase spread all over the gossip pages. My parents calling me, telling me that they hate it, but I'm the only son under the sun. They couldn't hate it, only demonstrated that they love. Couldn't fake it, unconditional, the only way I could have made it. It's the Notorious. It's the Notorious. Notorious. It's the things gon' change. We gotta make a change. We not gonna survive. Keeping things the same. Tired of seeing my brother slain, sister slain. Cops walk around plain. Mothers and fathers be taken from sons and daughters. Sons and daughters being taken from mothers, fathers. What they call us. Every name in the book. Call us looters, rioters, thugs, niggas, and crooks. To be honest, they shook and they don't abide by the book. But I gotta comply. Hands up to survive. Even with hands up, you know I still might die. I used to never worry about stuff like this. Used to brush it all off like bristles on hair. One day it'll be fixed, then that light gon' come. Other side of the tunnel, but that shit not done. So we keep on them, keep marching, keep trying, keep believing. We'll be on the green side. Don't tell my family I'm scared. Don't tell my girl that I'm stressed. Cause we gotta keep fighting till we get justice. Till that last breath. It's the Notorious. It's the Notorious. Notorious. It's the Notorious. This for all my beautiful black brothers and sisters. Our eyes are open. Now it's time to open your ears, open your mind, open your hearts. They gotta stop killing us. We gotta stop killing each other. You better listen up.
So that was our perfect fifth for July. And even though we kind of let the ball drop, I think we ended it pretty well.
I think Taylor helped us out a lot.
Oliver Tree is fun. I give it a listen.
All right, guys. It's been a minute since we've done this one. Let's get our improv pants on and try the segment sponsorship, where one of us gives the other person either a real or a fake sponsor for the podcast, and the other person on the spot has to do a 30-second spot. And the funny thing is that neither of us know what the other person is going to suggest. So, Charlie, are you ready?
As ready as I will ever be.
Perfect. So we got a sponsorship from a company, and what they do is they are a weed whacker repair company.
What a niche concept. Do they have a name?
Nope, they are the weed. They're so niche that they don't need a name. They are the weed whacker repair company.
I was waiting for a name. Okay, all right. Do you have weeds that are growing out of control, but your weed whacker is not doing the job? It's stuck in the garage. It's summer. It's hot. Those weeds are growing everywhere. What do? You call the weed whacker company Weedies. That's right. We put Weedies in your weed whacker and we rev them up. It goes, brrr. What if it's an electric weed whacker? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We still rev it up. We go, no, and we make it a gas electric hybrid. That's right. Like a hybrid car, like a Tesla. You get a Tesla weed whacker. And then no one can even hear your weed whacker whacking. That's right. We fix it up. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Weed whackers are whacked. That's right. That's our motto.
Edit. That was whack.
Weed whackers are whacked.
Okay.
Are you ready? So John is a gay man from Detroit. And he...
Wait, am I supposed to be doing a gay voice?
No,
for this? I was going to say, you're trying to get us canceled?
No, you're just doing an ad for John. John is a gay man from Detroit. And he heard about you remember the cakes that the people wouldn't make cakes for the gay people? So he opened his own niche business. John's Gays Only Cake.
So this isn't John. This is for John's company? For
John's company, yeah. He's just trying to get the word out there.
How much does it piss you off to see all those heterosexual cakes out there? You got the the chocolate heterosexual cakes, you got the white heterosexual cakes. Just pisses you off. What you need is gay cakes. John's gay cakes. They are specifically designed cakes that are gay, and they are perfect. And it is all the same. It is all vanilla. It is all chocolate. There's no mixing of flavors. We have 2 flavors. We have chocolate and we have vanilla. So come on down and get yourself a gay cake and leave your heterosexual friends at home to complain about stuff like the man's supposed to fill up the gas tank and the woman's supposed to clean the kitchen. Because we don't worry about that shit here. What we worry about is whether you want chocolate or vanilla. John's gay cakes.
Edit.
Alright, are you ready for your second sponsor?
Yeah, I'm going to try not to open it with a question.
The question's so good, though. It leads you off into it. Alright. So, there is a company that is mastering the art of genital cologne. It's called Ballfume.
What's it called?
Ballfume.
Ballfume.
That's it.
All right. You're on a date. You're on the best date of your life. It's going fantastic. Jennifer, she's into you, dude. But you know what? Your balls aren't ready for it. What can you do in 30 seconds to fix it? You know what's going to happen. It's going downtown. You just got to pull it into the station, buddy. Jennifer's into it. Duck into the bathroom. Duck in there right now. You see it. It's Ballfume. Ballfume for men. She doesn't know what that is. It just looks like a dumbbell. Ballfume. You're set.
Edit. It looks like a dumbbell. What's he doing with the dumbbell with his balls?
He's in the bathroom. I don't know.
Why is he smashing his balls? Perfect. Ballfume.
Mary Beth's Fake Tree Nursery.
It's a fake tree nursery.
Yeah, not real trees.
Gosh. Aren't you sick of always breathing in that oxygen? Doesn't it just kind of make you cough and choke? Well, here at the Carbon Dioxide Club, we have a solution for you. We got, what is it called? Mary's Fake
Mary's Fake Tree Nursery.
Here at Mary's Fake Tree Nursery, we check that oxygen shit at the door. When your babies come in, you never have to worry about them overdosing on oxygen. That is 100% not a problem that you have to worry about at our Fake Tree Nursery. Our Fake Tree Nursery is also very nutritious with both fake fruits and fake berries, which are also fruits. And you can get those only at Mary's Fake Tree Nursery. No oxygen required.
Awesome.
Alright, so this was supposed to be the first week food because it happens every first week, but you know what? It's not the first week. It is the 5th week, and it is Would You Rather. Yes. Alright, you guys know how it works. So, one of us asks the other person, or gives the other person a scenario with 3 outcomes, one of which is true, and the other person tells you which one they would rather happen. Charlie, are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
You have just entered the Guinness World Record.
Woo!
Would you rather that it was for A, the longest burp at 4 minutes and 22 seconds, B, stacking 485 blocks on top of just one block in the game of Jenga, or C, surfing the highest wave at 485 feet high?
Man, I've never been surfing, so I think I'd want to go big or go home, so that one.
I have no idea what the Guinness World Record is for surfing. 485 feet high, that's like Top Thrill Dragster, I think. That's like terrifying. I would cry. I don't have the balance to surf. No, in Arizona, Ty-Star Valianti is known as the Master Jenga Stacker because he piled 485 blocks on top of just one block.
Wow, it sounds like he's got no life.
It only took him 2 hours. I think we've all wasted 2 hours from time to time, but it only lasted 9 minutes before his son came in and fucked it up.
There's a hotel in Piera Dizan Resort, I have no idea how to say that, that is offering a room with an interesting view. Would you rather it was A, a room with a view into a museum at night?
No. So just being honest.
A room that is connected to the top of their soccer stadium.
No.
Well, okay, but it's like the top, though. All right.
Okay.
All right, C.
No.
A room that has a view into a zoo.
Yes. C.
That is actually the answer. In this city, you can get a room with a view into the zoo, so you can see into, like, the manatees aquarium or whatever. It's pretty cool.
It's just manatees. This huge, expensive room, and you just see cows.
I like I mean, that'd be kind of cool, though.
Be very inspirational. All right. Number 2. You're a pizza owner.
Yeah, okay.
And now, would you rather do pepperoni? Would you rather, no, just kidding. So you're a pizza owner, and a man comes in with a machete. I don't know what it is with machetes in this world or in this game, but they're around. And this man with the machete is demanding that you give him all of your money, but you refuse to give him money. So, with that in mind, would you rather A, offer to make him the biggest pizza that you could instead of throwing him any money? B, throw a full pizza at him? Or C, lunge into his machete, thus changing his crime from robbery to murder and ruining his life? That'll teach him.
I would use I'd probably do A just because I'd use what I got. Yeah. Want some pizza? I'll get some pizza.
You don't want to lunge yourself into his machete and kill yourself to.
That is creative, though.
Thank you. No, B, he threw a pizza at him.
Oh, shit. Did it work?
And it worked. In Greenwood, Delaware, it's called Stargate Pizza. The guy threw a pizza at the machete-wielding man, and it caused him to flee the restaurant.
I mean, was it, like, hot out of the oven? Because I get that.
Maybe. Maybe it was probably meat, and he was vegetarian. He was like, oh, my God. That's what I would do.
I'm just going to do the story. I was going to do my last story, but I'll do my last story first. So, I'll take this local. In the Akron area, there was a rare blue lobster found in a lobster delivery for Red Lobster. Would you rather that A, the lobster meal for the blue lobster would charge an extra $40 for that meal, B, drove it to the Atlantic Ocean themselves to set it free, or C, gave it to the Akron Zoo?
So they drove from Akron, Ohio to the Atlantic Ocean.
I mean, it's only a 7-hour drive. It's not that bad, actually.
7-hour drive with this blue lobster. I had a blue crayfish one time, electric blue crayfish. That was pretty cool. I'm going to say, now bring it to the ocean would be very kind, but that's 7 hours. I'm going to say bring it to the zoo.
That's what they did. They actually brought it to the Akron Zoo. I don't know if you saw the story. No.
That's cool, though. They should bring all the lobsters to the zoo.
Well,
listen, I'm not I'm not down with eating meat anymore, but there is a certain part of me that extra hates the idea of people eating lobsters, just the whole boiling them alive part. It's kind of fucked up.
I mean, you're actually supposed to, like, stab them in the brain first so that they don't feel it.
You got to put them to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to, like how you shoot a cat in the head when you kill it? Same concept.
So the weather radar in the United Kingdom picked up something a little unusual.
It's aliens.
Would you rather A, 50-mile wide swarm of insects, B, a 299-car pileup due to somebody texting and driving on a major highway, or C, an unidentified light zigzagging in a regular direction?
Aliens!
So, that's your answer.
Yeah.
So, a 50-mile wide swarm of flying ants was seen making its way over the UK.
Oh my God.
Technically on England's southeast coast. They thought it was a cloud of rain, but no, it was flying ants. Actually, and it happened last year too, it's known as Flying Ant Day. And it's when males and new queens leave the nest to get jiggy with it.
It's like when the buzzards come back to Cleveland.
Same thing. 50-mile wide.
Okay.
Could you imagine seeing a pileup of cars from space because somebody was texting and driving?
That'd be terrible. So many people would die. A woman was recorded while she was being removed from a plane for not wearing her mask. Would you rather if the rest of the plane A, cheered, B, booed, or C, laughed at her?
Oh, it's either A or C. They should have chanted Karen, Karen. I feel like they cheered. Laughing it's like to get everybody to laugh is kind of like a weird thing. So I'm gonna say that, but cheering is contagious. Laughing is stupid. I'm gonna say cheering. I think everybody cheered.
You got 3 for 3, man.
Queen's sweet. Look at that. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah. Good for you.
If nothing else from this perfect fifth, I hope you guys check out Mo Turk, check out Taylor Swift's album Folklore, and what was the name of the thing?
Oliver Tree, like Olive Tree. I don't know if that's on purpose.
Oliver Tree. Yeah, go check out Oliver Tree. And if you don't like the whole album, at least listen to Hurt or Jerk or Turk. Listen to Hurt, Turk, and Jerk. Those are the 3 things you got to remember. And Taylor. So thank you guys for listening. As always, this is The Segue.
The best thing that happened to you on a Thursday. Yeah, let's do it. Fuck. Would you rather? I guess so.